Knicks were in, Jack, Charles Oakley and Gerald Wilkins were both out tonight, were the two most instrumental guys, I think, in the Knicks' success. One rebounding and the other just general ball hawking on defense.
And Cheeks had a big game, Jim. Cheeks had 5 steals in that game and disrupted the Sixer offense. It was vintage Cheeks.
Well, injuries, of course, are haunting many an NBA team at this stage of the season, so neither team is going to make much ado about that. Just go out and play it. The Knicks have already secured a playoff berth, as have the 76ers, and it's all a matter now of where the teams will fall in the final standings. Knicks with the opening tap, and this is Cheeks picked up by Ricky Green.
Going right to Patrick Ewing.
Rick Mahorn on him, and the turnaround is going to be short of the mark.
If Rick can bump Patrick out a step like he did that last time, it will be very important for Sixer defense.
We neglected, Jack, to talk about the inspired play of Ron Anderson since getting a starting nod.
Yeah, Ron had 2 huge games. There's Tucker for the long one, Jim.
Trent Tucker, the excellent outside shooter, puts the Knicks on board. Back to Anderson, who, as you say, really got this team some points when they needed him, and his pass work was very timely at key moments of those games against the Pacers and the Bulls.
That's a bad one. He led Armin Gilliam just a little too far. Gilliam had posted up well. Ron needed a better passing angle.
Tucker pops out. Now they go to Vandeweghe, who tried to drop it and does to Walker. Anderson fights for the rebound and scraps it away from Kenny Walker.
There's Gilliam.
And a good pass from Hersey Hawkins.
That's what I like to see the Sixers do. Gilliam had flashed to the ball side box, and Hawkins got it to him. No defender on Gilliam that time.
Just getting started, tied at 2. Cheeks gives up to Ewing. Offensive forward Walker, and he might have traveled, but the call's going to go the other way, and really the other way, because not only is the field goal good, but a foul is called.
Sixers missed their matchup. Gilliam had him and then backs off so that Walker has the ball all to himself, as you see. Powers it to the basket. Kenny Walker is a very quick rebounder. Gets off his feet quickly, reacts to the ball well. It's one of the strong points of his game.
And probably their best defensive player.
Yes.
On defense, Walker guards Gilliam. Armin puts it on the floor and loops one of those hook shots up and in. Good start for Armin Gilliam.
Exactly. Took it right into the lane. Shot that little patented jump left hook that he has.
Cheeks backs up on Ricky Green. Good position, Walker, and he quickly fires, maybe too quickly, but there's Patrick with a rebound.
Yes, sir.
And a putback.
That's too good a position to give Kenny Walker. He's got that ball about 6 feet to the basket. He should be able to finish that play, but didn't.
Here's Anderson turning and firing over Vandeweghe. Ron Anderson will get his shots with Kiki Vandeweghe guarding him. The Sixers can get the ball to him.
Yes, he should, and the Sixers will key on that matchup. Ron can beat Kiki on the drive, and he can hang him on screens as well, Jim.
That ball stripped down low by Mahorn, and he bounced it off the leg of Ewing. So with 10 seconds on the shot clock, we'll watch the Knicks inbound it.
Good play by Rick Mahorn getting his hands in. He cannot stop Patrick once he gets it up high.
Whoa, Rick thought he had a good block and another whistle down there. That's the toughest job of the night, having to guard Patrick Ewing, and Rick wants to get those breaks when he thinks he earns them.
Right. Rick makes a pretty good move on Patrick. Patrick really is too big, too tall. His arms are too long for Rick to stop once he gets turned. Rick has to get the ball before it gets to Patrick's shoulder level.
Ewing having another monster season, 26 points a game, 11 rebounds a game. He and Charles Oakley are getting 23 rebounds a game. They're the best two on one team in the league.
Yeah, Patrick 5th in rebounding, 3rd in block shots, 7th in scoring. Those are great numbers.
He'll get some great numbers when it comes time to renegotiate that contract. Ron Anderson comes in. I think Patrick's due for either a new deal or a renegotiation deal very shortly.
Good cut by Vanderway.
And he finishes it off.
Ricky Vanderway very good at moving without the ball. He used Ewing's screen there to rub Ron Anderson off, get a ball right in the lane.
Gilliam again works on Walker. He showed him a little bit of everything, and boy, the Sixers just not getting the break so far as that move goes against Gilliam. And that's foul number 2 on Gilliam, who looks like he's off to a good night.
I would agree with the call. I think Walker had position. Armin kind of fended him off with his right shoulder. Oh, my.
Ewing knocks it out of the air, but can't hang on. Knicks with a 1-point, 9-8 lead. Rick Mahorn loses track of the ball and out of bounds it goes. Rick got more daylight than he was expecting there and decided to go for it.
Pretty hard for a big guy to go coast to coast with the ball. Coaches want him to give it up and get it back. But Rick had no one in front of him, succumbed to the temptation of driving it all the way to the basket.
Sixer substitution is Jason Williams for Armin Gilliam. Gilliam picked up the 2 early fouls.
Oh, my.
Leaner by Ewing, who has 5 of the Knicks' 11 points.
Patrick, once he gets to that position, Jim, there's no stopping him.
Here's Jason. Pitch and catch with Ricky Green, the open shooter. Ewing the rebound. Patrick again going to challenge Rick Mahorn, and Mahorn again strips it away. He's going to have a grabbing foul. It's going to go against New York.
Patrick is bringing the ball lower than I've seen him. Usually Patrick keeps the ball high. Watch as he spins now. He brings that ball to waist level and lets Mahorn get his hand in there to deflect it. Hersey working well off baseline screen.
Williams tucks it in underneath.
Good move.
The foul. Would have been a beauty had he made the basket. Still a good one.
The Knicks were so intent on covering Hersey Hawkins that they leave a passing opportunity direct to Jason Williams, who makes a nice up and under move, drawing the foul. Jason has gained confidence, Jim. His game has improved by the minutes he's played and the confidence that success gives him in playing those minutes.
11-9. Sixers now with a chance to make it 11-10, and they do. Knicks got off to that horrible start. And John McLeod got this team playing pretty good. Now they're in another little bit of a slump, having lost 7 out of their last 9.
Well, injuries are so key to that. You lose players like Oakley and Gerald Wilkins. He's lost a lot.
This one stripped away by Tucker.
Good hands by Tucker. Boy, there's a war going on down there with Mahorn and Ewing.
On the other box, we have Walker with an offensive foul. And we have a timeout. 6:45 left to go in the first quarter. The Knicks 11 and the Sixers 10. I think you got to point out that the quirks in the schedule and the fact that Charles Barkley has missed 2 and now a 3rd game against the Knicks accounts for that lopsided margin.
Yeah, that's certainly a factor, Tim. You know, when I know at least one of those games, the Sixers had to play the night before and the Knicks didn't. Now, that's such a key factor when a team is rested and the other guys are fresh. The fresh team is, of course, rested, and the other guys have come off a tough game the night before. Travel is involved and all that. And the schedule just works some strange things during the course of the season. And then the injuries, of course, are very significant.
Well, that situation reverses itself tonight. The Sixers are somewhat rested, and the Knicks come off a loss, a tough one, a 2-point loss to the Bulls in Chicago last night.
Yeah, I saw clips of that game. I thought the Knicks were going to pull that out.
Came from 13 back. You got it winnable, but then couldn't hold off the Bulls.
It's Hawkins off that baseline screen.
Drifts in and tries to throw it up over all those arms. It gets it blocked. Shot clock down to 7. Now it's stripped away by Tucker. And wild scramble is finally pulled out by Jason Williams.
Well, that's a 24-second clock violation.
3-point shot by Ricky Green. I don't know what the ruling is there.
That's the shot clock could not have been recycled. John McLeod protested, but in vain. Neither team had possession of that ball, so it stays with the Sixers shot clock count.
Here's Cheek and the loose ball grabbed by Mahorn, who's somewhat of a terror in there early on.
Rick Mahorn's doing a big board job for the Sixers tonight. Good position.
Ooh, Jason Williams had an open cutter. Now he tries to work hard in there. He is working hard. Finally gets it up again. Draws the foul. Give Williams plenty of credit for us.
Watch Jason down there. Jason is very, very determined. Ewing makes the block. Jason goes and gets it. Takes it up again. Draws the foul.
One thing that has been said about Jason is when healthy, he has been an excellent practice player this year, apparently, Jack.
Yeah.
Works very hard, so these are not unusual. This is not an unusual style for him. He has developed this over the course of the season.
But what players do in practice and what they do in the game is sometimes very different. And I think Jason Williams is showing that his practice game is going to be similar to his regular game, and that's what pleases the coaches.
Gerard Mustaf replaces Kenny Walker for the Knicks. The loose ball tracked down, and the Knicks are going to keep possession. Yep. Sixers with a 14-11 lead. Mustaf has had his share of injuries almost all season long. Rookie out of University of Maryland. Got an NBA-looking body. He's got the ball right now.
Big, strong guy. Pretty good post move.
And he's able to draw the foul.
Yeah. Jason Williams sticking his hands in there instead of keeping them vertical. When you do that, you make arm count. Jason is acknowledging the fact that he should have defended better. It's a great temptation to get your hands in there and just bang those guys on the arms as they bring the ball to shooting position.
Mahorn grabs the Mustaf miss. The Sixers by 2 coming up on the 5-minute mark here in the opening quarter. Ooh, big screen by Mahorn. Rick misses the shot, though. Boy, Kiki Vandeweghe took a hit. His eyes were blinking for about 10 seconds.
Rick Mahorn sets good screen.
Ewing gives up to Tucker. Now Mustaf puts it on the floor and goes with a left-handed hook shot. Rebounded to Anderson. Now he spread the floor, give a little room to Anderson. Tough shot anyway, in traffic.
Fourth shot.
Ewing with his 4th rebound. Hooked away by Ricky Green.
Ricky Green had lost cheeks, but managed to pop that ball loose. First guy I ever saw do that was Tom Gola. Tom Gola would pop it loose to one of his teammates, go down and get a field goal from it.
Wasn't much old Tom couldn't do, was it?
Yeah, you're right. He was a great player. Great defensive player.
Vandeweghe fakes the 3, tucks it in, and comes closer, and too close. Knicks will have another crack at it, though, with a new 24 seconds to work with. Ooh, too much room for Tucker.
Oh, my.
4 points for Trent Tucker. Anderson back the other way. Jason Williams went for the tap. Ended up shoving Ewing out of the way. Now they got Mustafa down low, and John McLeod decides to call a timeout with the Knicks. Things have slowed down a tad here. It's 14-14 with 3:25 to go in the first quarter.
How did Trent Tucker get all the way to the basket for a layup? Trent has the ball now. Stop it here. There's a screen set by Mustafa. The defender on the screener, in this case Jason Williams, has to step out and slow the driver down. But Jason stands still. Ron Anderson is hung. So Trent Tucker gets all the way to the basket for a little finger roll score. Need better communication.
If you want the great taste of Bud Light, you got to make the best call tonight. So ask for a Bud Light. Everything else is just a light.
Sixers substitution number 4, Andre Turner checks in for replacing Ricky Green.
Andre Turner now comes on for the 76ers. It's Turner and Hawkins in the backcourt. Jason Williams, Rick Mahorn, and Hersey Hawkins up front.
And Mark Jackson inside. Mark Jackson likes to post up, Jim.
Yes, he does. Now he's posting up in the wrong part of the court. And Jackson ends up traveling as the Sixers put the clamps on him.
Good double team by the Sixers. Pin Jackson right in the corner.
Jackson has made a trip out of the doghouse. He's getting a lot of playing time all of a sudden. The last couple of times we've seen him, he was not among the most happiest of Knicks.
A little passing game by the Sixers, trying to free somebody up. Knicks defending it well.
Horn double team. Williams for 3.
Yes.
Don't be surprised by that, folks, because he'll take that shot in practice and before a game. Play a few times. He likes that corner jump from the 3-point line. Of course, you wouldn't want to see him make a career out of it out there. Williams the rebound. 17-14 Sixers. Hawkins cut off nicely by Jackson. Tough angle there. Mustafa the rebound. The Knicks have an identical 18-20 record home and away. Early on they had a very unusual record, and they were much better on the road than they were at home. That is leveled off. And the rebound by Anderson. Turner sets up an open Ron Anderson, and he makes
excellent short penetration by Andre Turner, just enough to draw the defense and free up Ron Anderson for that jump shot. Turner really harassing Mark Jackson with the ball.
That's the scouting report on Jackson. Get up in his face and get after him. He doesn't pass the ball and dribble it with the best of them. Here's Hawkins on the break.
Big play. Andre Turner initiated both those scoring plays for the Sixers.
Vanderwyk spots Jackson, who posts up Turner and misses the shot. Mahorn had it, lost it. Knicks will have it. And the Knicks are also going to make a couple of substitutions. John Stark and Brian Quinnett.
Stark, good defender, and has shown himself to be a better than average scorer. He can get double figures for you if he gets enough minutes.
Second-year player by way of the CBA out of Oklahoma State is Stark. Very quick. Good ball movement to Quinnett. Ewing came flying for the rebound. Nearly got it. Look at this little Andre come out of there.
Oh, yeah. Ron Anderson, great play.
Step up move by Anderson. Took great advantage of that. But again, Andre Turner generating the action.
Andre Turner has had a great run with the Sixers. Good defense here. Jason Williams stepping up very well that time.
The cutter is Stark, and he is fouled. Hersey Hawkins getting consoled by his friend Rick Mahorn.
At his first, team first in the last 2 minutes.
Sixers doing a very good defensive job since Turner has entered the game, Jim, they've opened up this 9-point lead mostly through their defense.
Under a minute, under a half minute now, actually, as Ewing goes from long distance.
Patrick not shooting the ball as well as he normally does tonight.
Sixers on a 9-0 run. Hersey Hawkins trying to feather it. And the ball knocked away by Ron Anderson. 18 seconds left in the quarter. As we said, the Sixers have run off the last 9. It was tied at 14.
See what John McLeod's going to want from this play. I think he's going to get a two-man play. No, I'm wrong. Pop out.
Stark
And Ewing.
going to have to hurry. Patrick under pressure with less than a second on the clock. He makes the play. And that'll do it. Sixers with a spurt go out on top of the Knicks. 23-16. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a bit.
All right, watch the Sixers. The ball at the wing. They're really scrambling, putting hard pressure. There's a cutter going to the basket. Stark throws. Hawkins gets caught for the foul, but the defense has ignited this Sixer run to give them a 7-point lead at the end of the period. And just 16 points is going to win any game for the New York Knicks.
Certainly not. Brian Oliver and that man, Manute Bol, into the game for the 76ers.
Now again, watch Manute. A normal sequence. He's going to post up low.
Anderson, good position, good shot.
And the Sixers called, Jim Lynam called for a clear out. Ron Anderson against Quinnett. And Ron beat him and got the field goal. Boom. Whoa.
Patrick said a good thing Andre is small.
Well, I'll tell you.
Because he almost...
He may be small, but he's got a mountain of courage, that little guy.
But instead of his head hitting an elbow, it hit like a thigh. Here's Turner. Jackson the rebound. 25-16 the score. Jackson blocked by Manute. Manute had to come from secondary position that time. Anderson on the run. Oliver scraps for the loose ball and is fouled. No, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
I think what the ruling is, Jim, he jumped from out of bounds to get that rebound.
Right.
And if that's the case, then he is illegal. You have to be inbound to touch the ball.
Boy, Manute came over his teammate, Jason Williams.
This is what Manute does for your team defensively.
They forced the action right into Manute. You see the way Oliver played, but a wide open Mark Jackson takes a couple of steps and pops it.
Good ball movement by the Knicks that time to free up Jackson all by himself on the weak side. Sixers in a little passing game.
Stolen here by Stark and fouled by Oliver.
Good play by Brian Oliver, however.
Now some substitutions for the Knicks. Great Grant. A little guy out of Trenton State comes in as Brian Oliver protests whether that was a shooting foul or not. And also Eddie Lee Wilkins into the game. He'll spell Patrick Ewing.
Eddie Lee Wilkins has proven to be a very good journeyman player. He can back up at the center position, which he does for Ewing. He can play big forward. Not a big scorer, but he does a nice overall job. He'll rebound, score at the low post, play some tough D for you. I think he surprised a lot of NBA people.
Came into this league when Hubie Brown was the coach of the Knicks, and Hubie is here tonight, as this is also a national telecast going on the TNT network. We enjoyed visiting with my old partner for the game, and you and him heading for Paris together.
Next Sunday, Jim.
April in Paris with Hubie Brown. Wow.
We're involved in the NBA clinics over there. Hubie and I, Bill Walton, and Calvin Murphy will be our staff for the clinics in Paris, France. 4 days.
And you're not going to miss a Sixers telecast on Prism. That is amazing.
Out in front.
Look at Manute with the behind-the-back swing to Andre Turner. Now Oliver twists and turns.
Got some defense being played out there. John Starks is a good defender. We've already talked about Andre Turner. And Will Grant will get out there and pester you as well.
Andre commits the foul. Yes, we do have some speed, if not size, on the floor.
Watch Manute. Gets pinched in. Makes the behind the backer with ease. Made one under the leg in Chicago.
Yeah.
Under a leg, not both.
You got to start somewhere. Wilkins, not the greatest shooter, but not one to pass up an open shot either. Oliver dribbles around the Manute ball screen and hits his first field goal. Sixers keep the lead at that 27-20.
This is a good match. Greg Grant and Andre Turner, two little whips out there.
The miss, grabbed by Bull, and he hangs on. Puts it up there where nobody can get it. Oliver will try again and make the shot.
That's not a pretty looking shot, Jim, but he's knocking it down with pretty good regularity recently.
Knicks want a timeout as they fall behind by 9, 29-20. We're in the second quarter, 8:45 to go, and we'll be back right after this.
We're going to see Andre Turner pass off and hit Brian Oliver for a couple of good jump shots. Here's Brian's shot. Now, I mentioned it's not a pretty-looking shot. Brian kind of stabs at the ball instead of shooting it through. If you compare his shot with Hersey Hawkins, you'll see a big difference. Watch Brian. The hand goes straight out rather than up, and he doesn't get much rotation on that ball. But he knocked two down there, and that's what counts. Both those plays, incidentally, set up by Andre Turner, who's done a yeoman job in the short time he's been on the floor. Knicks shooting only 1 for 6 in this period, Jim. Sixers 3 for 6. So give big bonus points to the Sixer defense.
Here's Vandeweghe, puts it up. Too strong, loose ball, grabbed by Gilliam. Grant pesters him, nearly takes it away, and finally he does. Grant and Stark, that's about as fast a duo as you're going to run up against on one team.
Good quickness. Good quickness. This little guy can fly.
Stark blocked by Bull, I mean big time. That was the old Wilsonberger.
Watch Manute step out. Manute is doing this very well. When he's defending the screener and somebody comes off the screen to shoot it, Manute's getting a hand in the face of the shooter.
Uh-oh, the wide open man from the other side is Stark, the three. That's the buzzer, counted though.
Well, that was a nice play by Stark to realize the shot clock was almost gone. That ball no sooner touched his hands than he had it in the air.
They whip it to Turner, who has Jason Williams down low on Wilkins. Andre Turner. 2 points for Turner. Sixers 31 and the Knicks 23.
That's a nice pass out of the double team by the big guy.
Two open. Vandeweghe usually will make that shot.
Jason has Vandeweghe down there. He should take him. There he goes.
He might have been about a stride out of range there with Vandeweghe in his face.
Ewing forced the turnover with that one.
4:17 left to go in the half. 7-point Sixer edge. Vandeweghe left alone, and he continues to struggle. Offensive board, though, to Ewing. Patrick wants this shot. That's blocked. 11 points for Ewing. 36-31. wants the shot, too.
Yeah, he's going to get it. He's going to get it.
Long hook shot. All right, they're going to change the call with a little help from about 1,000 witnesses.
I like to see a referee do that, though. Eddie Middleton, after he blew the first whistle, realized he had made the bad call, corrected himself.
The Knicks, who trailed by 9 a moment ago, have now cut the deficit to 36-31. 3:28 left to go in the first half. Well, never one to pass up an unused microphone. Charles Barkley has jumped in with the Knicks television crew, Marv Albert and John Andres.
Now we're going to see Patrick Ewing against Manute Bol. There's Patrick with the ball, getting it out against the double. Now the ball comes back in. Now watch Patrick take the ball right into the lane and shoot it high over Manute's upstretched arm. That's a nice move by Patrick.
.328 left to go in the first half. Sixers held the Knicks to just 16 points in that first quarter. Here's one tipped by Ewing, and it's loose. Now picked off by Stark. Ahead to Cheeks. Ewing. The pass to Ewing was nearly took his chest off. Patrick not ready to handle it. Knicks get it back with plenty of time on the shot clock. Stark, quick move, no. Armin Gilliam fights hard for the rebound.
Good pass.
Hawkins for three. Hersey Hawkins gets his first three-pointer of the night. Actually, Hersey has not handled the ball on offense all that much so far.
I think Rick's intention was to shoot over Patrick Ewing, but he found himself in a bad position. Somehow saw Hawkins in the far corner and got the ball to him.
Hawkins commits the foul there. That's his second. .39-31 on that three-pointer. Ewing and Mahorn continue to muscle for position.
Good job, Mahorn.
Cheeks ends up taking it. Boy, can he do that so well. Well, will not take many shots, but when he does, his percentage, you almost count on the ball to go down.
Knicks playing pretty sticky defense right here, Jim.
I was impressed with their D the last time they were here. Hawkins now maybe getting hot. Turn around over Stark.
Not an easy shot either, because John Starks was right in his face.
Sixers by 8. A minute 50 to go in the half. Patrick leans and scores. I don't know how you do it, but if you can't do it, there's a great play by Armin Gilliam. I'm starting to say I don't know how you do it, but if you can't do it, that meaning stopping Patrick Ewing, you're going to be in for a long night.
That's an excellent pass by Ricky Green, who drove the wedge. Watch Ricky. He's got daylight. Kenny Walker comes over, and Ricky slides the ball to Armin Gilliam, who was ready for it, finished the play and got the foul. Put the Sixers up by 9.
Ewing has that eye of the tiger tonight. Cheeks again.
Open shot. I don't think Maurice Cheeks can shoot a jump shot off the dribble, but he can certainly knock him down standing still. Good double team on Hersey.
Anderson puts it on the floor, gets Quinnett off his feet. Wild scramble for the ball. Cheeks out with it. Head to Ewing. Look out. Long range floater, but he traveled.
I think I would disagree with that call, Jim. Not that it matters. Patrick does too. He caught the ball, took his set. Watch. That's legal.
Didn't look all that.
That's
Illegal to me.
That's a legal play.
Also, it's a heck of a play to catch it on the run like that.
Indeed.
Here is Hawkins, and Hersey now with 3 in a row. 9 points on the night. Sixers back to that 9-point lead again.
You can almost sense Hersey heating up.
I know if you're defending him, you can. Ewing had a foul. Patrick with 15 points. And a chance for another one. 26-point scorer on the season. He had a 50-point game this year.
You can see how Patrick Ewing scores in bunches. He has great control of floaters in the lane. He has a good drop step. He can shoot it from 15 to 17 feet facing the basket. Got the whole package in his offensive game.
46-40, 6 seconds to go in the half. Ricky Green with it. Has to get it off in a hurry, and does. To cheat. And time runs out. The Sixers continue to lead this one. At the end of the first half, the Sixers 46, and the Knicks 40. Jack and I will be along in a few moments with some more comments. Meanwhile, stand by for our NBA Beat gang. All that coming up right after this. Well, in the first quarter tonight, the Sixers were able to hold the Knicks to a remarkably low 16 points. They did it on 50% shooting as compared to a lowly 33 for the Knicks. Ron Anderson, the big gun, with 8 points. Sixers came back in the second quarter, got some good rebounding from Manute Bol. He had 4, but Patrick Ewing began to exert himself on offense. He had 9 points in the quarter and helped close the gap to where we are right now at 46-40.
We mentioned the key stats, the Sixers shooting 50 and the Knicks only 39, Jim, and the turnovers for the Sixers. But notice the low frequency of free throw attempts by both teams. Sixers average better than 30 free throws a game, have shot only 7, and the Knicks only 8. But one stat that worries me is Kiki Vandeweghe, 1 for 8. This guy is an explosive shooter. He is good from long range, and the Sixers need to keep a check on him.
There's how we stand right now. The Sixers in 5th place, trying to keep from sliding a notch, and it's going to be tough to catch the Milwaukee Bucks, especially after the Bucks' big win last night against the Detroit Pistons. There's a look at the remaining games for the 76ers.
4 at home and 3 away is certainly a benefit for the Sixers
as compared to the Bucks slate.
Bucks only have 2 at home and 4 away. I think the Bucks still may catch and pass Detroit, but I don't think the Sixers can catch the Bucks, Jim.
Okay, it's 46-40 here. We get started for second half action. Out west, San Antonio has pulled ahead of the Houston Rockets. Boy, what a tough... It's going to be a couple of playoff wars in that Western Conference. Because, boy, there's some very evenly matched and very talented teams. Almost 1 through 8. You could make an argument that anybody can beat anybody.
Exactly. And the opening, if things stay as they stand right now, the opening round of Portland and Seattle is going to be no picnic for the Blazers.
There's a big night for that man, Adam Roosevelt. He's a guest celebrity ball boy tonight, the son of President Carroll Roosevelt. Boy, I can identify with him, Jack. Back in the early 50s, I got to be a ball boy at a few Baltimore Bullets games. And I remember one time George Mikan came out on the court to begin the pregame warm-ups, and I just stood there looking at him. I don't think I retrieved the ball the whole time.
Well, to retrieve the ball when George shot it, you just had to stand under the net, Jim, because he didn't miss many.
Big night for Adam.
38.6%.
Sixers loose on the bench. They'll start it with Ron Anderson, Ricky Green, Hersey Hawkins, Rick Mahorn, and Armin Gilliam. Gilliam with 3 personal fouls, the only Sixer in what you would consider minor foul difficulty at this time. The Knicks will have Maurice Cheeks and Trent Tucker, along with Patrick Ewing, Kiki Vandeweghe, and Kenny Walker. So the Sixers to start it with a 6-point lead.
I think the opening minutes of this period are going to be very significant. If the Sixers can break it out, I think they'll be able to hold on for the game. If the Knicks get back in, it could be a dogfight.
Fade away by Hawkins, no. And look at Walker get way up. That's why they call him Sky. Here's Tucker on the dribble. One step and up. No good. Ewing tips it. 18 points now for Ewing.
That's a good shot by Tucker. Not only is he a good perimeter shooter, but he had Ewing at the basket for the rebound should he miss.
The leaner by Anderson too strong. Another board for Ewing. He's got 9 of those. So Patrick leading in rebounding and points for the Knicks. No surprise. Ooh, Vandeweghe got a nice step to get by the horn.
A great hand, big hand. Kiki has hands like a catcher's mitt.
One of those knuckleball catchers mitt. It's a 2-point game all of a sudden.
That was almost a steal by Cheeks, and suddenly the Knicks are creeping back into this game.
Maurice, the all-time leader in the NBA in steals, but not in the top 10 this year. And, of course, minutes has a lot to do with that. He's playing about 25 a game now. Plus, he's been playing for about 30 years. Seems like it, isn't it?
Ewing at his second team first.
Keeps himself in marvelous condition.
Shooting soon.
Maurice Cheeks' demeanor on the floor has not changed since the first day he arrived in Sixers camp till now. He acts and conducts himself in the exact same fashion. Unflappable, serious of purpose, and sneaky.
A dedicated team guy, though, Jim. He'll do whatever you ask him to do. You only have to tell him once. Maurice will get the job done. It's a little harder for him now because he's lost a half a step.
1.6er lead.
Good switching by the Sixers. Shut down that quick opportunity by Vandeweghe.
Cheeks with a jump shot.
Yeah, the open jumper. I don't know why defenders back off Maurice Cheeks when he's at that distance. He will knock him down forever on you.
Here's a lob. Can Gilliam catch up to it? Yes, he does, but he has to face Walker and Gilliam. Walker made a mistake there. He slapped it wildly instead of could have very easily controlled it to his teammate, and it cost him 2 points.
Notice the Knicks, as soon as Ewing gets it, they start their cutters going. So if there's a quick double team, Patrick can pass the ball easily.
Boy, Mahorn has had his eye out for that ball the whole night. 3-point attempt short. I bet he stripped the ball out of Patrick's hands 4 times so far. Here's a back-end foul against Gilliam, and that's going to hurt the Sixers. Now, that's his third. I'm sorry. We had him for 3 earlier, but we made a mistake. That is his third.
So you'll notice, again, Kenny Walker moving his feet very well. Big guys don't usually move their feet as well as Walker does. And he's drawn 2 charges from Gilliam by using that tactic.
Tucker off the screen by Ewing. Hurried that one. That's very unusual for Trent to miss by that much. Ricky Green delivering underneath to Hawkins, and he's fouled. Both Tucker and Walker, I think they're going to give the foul to Kenny Walker. And that's the third on him.
Hersey Hawkins makes as good use of that pump fake. Watch this. As Hawkins gets the ball in the basket area from Ricky Green, pumps, gets Walker up in the air. Once you're in the air, you're helpless. Good shooters will draw the foul against you every time. Hawkins is good at it.
Hawkins again. It's 52-46. Hersey now with 13 points. Ewing again wants that ball. Takes that drop step, goes baseline. Boom.
Yeah. Kept the ball high that time, turned and shot it before Mahorn could deflect the ball on its way up. Post guys have to keep the ball above their shoulders. You keep it above your shoulders, you're not going to get it stripped.
Gilliam to Green. Shot wasn't there, so Ricky dribbled for a better one. Another rebound, Patrick.
Excellent defense by the Knicks. Double team Gilliam and still got back to the open shooter well enough to contest the shot.
Three-pointer Tucker. He's deadly from there, but we're getting a break tonight. He's not making those long-distance shots. Once the league best from three-point range.
Good pass, Anderson.
Gilliam turns away from Ewing, but the big guy comes over and harasses anyway.
Knicks do a very good job of double teaming. Ewing is the guy who frequently double teams the other team's post guy. Watch Patrick come over right there and block the shot.
Hawkins in tough traffic. Knicks defense has been pretty consistent tonight. Making the Sixers work hard.
It's been consistent since John McLeod has taken over this team. I think the Knicks are a much stronger defensive team since John has taken over.
Gilliam again fighting hard for an open shot. The rebound to Ewing.
Again, Ewing turning and shooting. Good pass out by Mahorn.
The outlet is stripped by Keith, but right into the hands of Williams. Back into the hands of Anderson.
Kenny Walker with a monster block.
He can do some things. Remember he raced a racehorse when he came into the league as a rookie for Publicity? He beat the horse. I don't know what happened to that horse.
I think it's in the dew patches.
Stolen by Green. He puts it out in front of him. Breaks away for the layup.
Excellent anticipation by Ricky Green.
56-48. And the Knicks with a timeout. The Knicks made a nice run to get it tight. And the Sixers now have jumped ahead by 8 again. We've got 7 minutes exactly left to go in the third, and we'll be back after this.
Patrick Ewing with the ball, defended by Rick Mahorn. Rick stops his first thrust. Stop it there. Hersey Hawkins has come over to make a nice double team with Mahorn, but the key, Ricky Green, nicing in front of Trent Tucker to get that pass out from Ewing, steals the ball, takes it in for the field goal. Good team defense by the Sixers. Good anticipation by Ricky Green. Opens up a Sixer 8-point lead.
And there is John McLeod.
John McLeod is in that precarious position, Jim, that I talked about with him before the game. He doesn't have a contract for next year, and the problem is that the NBA season lasts so long that frequently jobs dry up by the time the season is over.
Talked about possibly going back to the college game.
Yeah, I think he would.
Boy, that takes something. Here's Vanderway missing the tip. College game is not exactly the teacher's a team right now in a lot of places. If they look here alone and let you coach could be fine, but all that other stuff.
But John's contention is that, if you don't know what you're going to do, watch this replay. Here's Ricky Green passing ahead to Armin Gilliam, who takes it, pumps, gets Patrick up in the air, and gets cracked pretty good, puts Armin on the line. As I was saying, if you don't have, like in John's position, his season, the NBA season won't be over until June. By that time, any other NBA opportunity or college opportunity might have dried up. So I think John is in a position where if he gets an offer, he'll take it for next year if the Knicks don't give him something definite.
Sixers 58-48.
Kenny Walker looking to post up against Gilliam.
Takes the dribble,
Nice
leans
move.
inside, but the shot too strong. There's a quick hands to Trent Tucker. He missed the layup, and there's a dunk miss. Tucker says, I was too close. He misses the there. Boy, the Knicks squandered an opportunity. Ricky Green.
Oh, my.
And scored the goal, and boy, the Knicks are fortunate that they didn't get called for a foul. His feet went hard to the floor. Green can't believe it. And a big sequence of events here.
That's wild. That is wild stuff. The Knicks. Watch it. There's a good move, as we mentioned. Kenny Walker taking it right in. Rick Mahorn coming off strong, but Trent Tucker stealing the ball from him. Ewing with the miss, tried to crunch it. Ball goes back to Tucker, who dresses up a three, misses that. There's Ricky Green tapping the ball, getting it passed out ahead. And there's Ricky. I'm not sure Cheeks didn't have position.
Oh, I would look at it the other way. I thought he fouled it.
Well, Ricky made the shot. So Sixers are up 12, Jim.
Today's game is brought to you in part by LA Gear Catapult, the high-performance athletic shoe with the power feedback system that will make you feel, as Ricky Green just did, unstoppable. 60-48. Sixers now with their biggest lead. Patrick turning.
Oh,
and turning.
Point boy. He's tough. He's tough. Sixers defended that very well. Got that little jumper right in the face of the defenders.
Anderson loses it. Ricky Green disrupts it, but a whistle.
Good foul by Ricky Green. Good foul. Sixers would have been at a numbers disadvantage in the front court. Ricky committed the foul before it could happen. It's a smart play.
Substitution for the Knicks. Gerard Mustafa back in for Walker. Here he is.
Kenny Walker had his opportunities to score. Couldn't get the ball to go down.
Starks goes to Ewing, who goes right back to the basket. 24 points now, just 2 below his season average. Nice move, Rick Mahorn.
Excellent move. Very quick. Made his turn before Patrick could react.
He surprised Ewing because that was only his first field goal of the game. Ewing may have been getting content knowing that Mahorn wasn't going to be an aggressive offensive play.
Good rotation by the Sixers right here, too, Jim, from the free throw. And the Sixers have not been faultless in their trap attack. Let's see what happens here. There's the trap. Let's see what the Sixers do.
They flirt with trouble. The Newt is fouled as that ball is precariously hanging up there.
Pretty tough to disturb a pass from the new Bull once he brings it to that over-the-head position. But the players need to move so that he has a passing target. Ron Anderson. Good defense by Quinnett.
They battle for position. Jason Williams battling for the basket. Eddie Lee Wilkins made him make a tough play out of it. And Mark Jackson is fouled.
Well, that's one thing Mark Jackson does. We talked about it earlier, Jim. He can penetrate, and if no defenders stop him, he'll take it all the way to the basket. If he gets stopped like he did on that last play, he can find open people.
With the Sixers bench on the floor, the Knicks sees this as an opportunity to close the gap, and they start with a leaner by Quinnett.
That's a nice play by Quinnett. He has a good shooter's release. Watch this. He's going to fire that right off the glass. And that was intentional. Knicks are going to trap again. If I can read their signal.
72-63. That was the one thing I know you didn't like about the recent two-game road swing. The Sixers were vulnerable to pressure.
Yeah, in the back court. I think once they got in the front court, they were okay.
Ball with a dribble and a hook.
Yeah, he got it. Fans love it. Fans love to see Manute score. Doesn't happen that often.
Now a whistle. And a 3-second violation on Mark Jackson.
See, Manute Bol left his man, Mark Jackson, posting up Andre Turner. He's a pretty good post player, too. But he had to pass it out once Bol double-teamed him. Got caught for 3 seconds.
Manute's in there holding up an arm. I want it again. Nearly stolen by Mustaf. Patted on the back by John McLeod for his hustle. And the Sixers now with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Fourth quarter action, 9:46 left.
Good double teaming by the Knicks.
Anderson tried to bank it in. Gets the ball back, however. Anderson alone. 18 points now for Ron Anderson.
Ron Anderson has a shooter's attitude.
And scratching his head now in frustration, John McLeod. He's got to do something fast. His Knicks are trailing by 13 with 9:20 to go.
Ron Anderson has shot the ball once and missed, but when I talk about a shooter's attitude, he's not afraid to take that next shot, and this time he knocked it down. Now we're going to take a look at Manute Bol shooting from the low post. Ball goes in. The other players constantly move. Manute takes a look, doesn't see anybody open, takes that little fadeaway jump hook of his that nobody is going to block.
Manute is about ready to embark on a huge charitable venture, raising money for food for the young, starving folks of his native Sudan. We'll be telling you more about that. There'll be some Sixer participation in that.
I would like, I really admire what Manute does in that respect. He sends money every year back to his family, and that's a sizable number in his family, and works to raise money for the other Sudanese people.
76-63 your score.
Mustaf. Bol.
And delivering from the outside is Greg Grant.
Not known for his outside shooting, but he's good at this. He can pester you on defense.
Grant originally drafted by the Phoenix Suns. Just being drafted as an accomplishment. He was out of basketball after getting no. Oh, my! That was nothing but net.
Jim Lyon really likes Manute. Manute's done a good job for the Sixers. And like most players, Manute likes Jim Lyon.
There's a turnaround. Up and good by Mustaf. You know, if it was a perfect world and Johnny Dawkins didn't get hurt and Charles Barkley didn't go down and Manute was inserted into his normal role, everything would have been fine. But here's another one by Manute. What I'm about to say is that he was asked, because of injuries, to do some things that maybe he wasn't ready to do.
Well, he hasn't had a coach to have the confidence that he could do something at the low post like Jim Lyon has expressed.
Nearly stolen by Turner. He only had 2 shots at it. Jackson challenges Ball. That's what you've got to do with him. Take it right to him and hope that he'll get fouled. It's an 80-67 lead. 3 field goals here by Manute Bol.
Let's see if the Knicks trap again, Jim, whether they zone trap or just count on Greg Grant to put extreme pressure on Andre Turner and try and shake it loose. Andre is signaling to his teammates to be ready for the trap. I thought the Sixer backcourt men over-dribbled when they were trapped in Chicago, Jim. They've got to be careful that they don't give up the ball.
One thing the Knicks will miss in this situation is the great athletic ability on an open floor of a Gerald Wilkins. But they get a steal anyway. Tucker and Ewing collaborate. Ewing with a dunk.
Look out, they'll stay in this trap now, but they've had that success.
It's 80-71.
Wimbledon wants timeout right away.
7:25 left to go in the game. The Knicks get it to 9, and we'll be back right after this.
The Knicks are in their zone trap. Mustafa's on the ball. Here's Trent Tucker. Quinnett, weak side, and Ewing here. The only player open is going to be Manute Bol. The ball is passed. Let's stop it there. Ewing comes over to trap. Trap. And Manute keeps his back to the basket and tries to find a receiver. You've got to move your feet to pass the ball. The ball gets knocked loose. Mark Jackson has it. Makes the pass to Ewing, who crunches it. Over Bol. Jim Lyman took the timeout. There's the pass from Jackson. Ewing.
All right, now we've got Gilliam, Turner, Hawkins, Anderson, and Bol.
And the Knicks go back to straight man-to-man.
And a 9-point Sixer
And
lead.
a half-court trap, Tim.
Jackson loses ground. Inside is Gilliam. Has to go over Ewing. Tipped by Bol. He didn't get it, but he did get fouled.
First little foul from Mark Jackson. His first.
On that trap, half-court trap by the Knicks, Jackson was left on the weak side where he had to come down and block off the weak side rebounder, who was Bol. He hit him too hard.
Gilliam with Mustafa. Penetration, Andre Turner, and he looks it over the outstretched blocking arm of Patrick Ewing.
Excellent play by Andre Turner. Split the defender and shot that little floater. Got it to go for him.
Ewing has the open jumper, and look at those moves to get it. With only 2 steps, he went from an 18-footer to about a 4-foot and drew a foul.
Patrick Ewing is a very fluid player for a big guy. Has good footwork. I credit Hubie Brown, who we mentioned earlier doing the telecast for, what is it, TNT? Hubie worked hard with Patrick on his footwork early on when he first came into the league. Hubie was Patrick's coach. Hubie is an excellent coach of post players. Again, the trap. Full court zone trap. Again, the pass to Bol. Good.
The open man is Hawkins. They finally spot him. Hurtsy for 3. And over the back it goes.
That time, Bol gave the ball right back to Gilliam. It was reversed to the weak side, and the Sixers had no problem getting the ball over half court. Good three-point opportunity for Hawkins.
Sixers by 9. The clock now ticks down. 6:22 to go. Ewing on the drive. Rebounded to Gilliam. Harmon now with 10 rebounds.
Hands on Bol to launch a 3.
From anywhere. Good hustling defense here by the Knicks. It's Grant harassing, getting the steal. He's got 3 on 2 and a nice drop behind the back to Jackson. Ray Grant stirring things up, 82-75.
I'll watch him again.
This is the way the Knicks used to play. Remember when Hubie had all those injuries, and then when Rick Pitino came along, full court harassing team throughout much of the game.
Hey, Bol getting a nice hand for the fans as he leaves the game.
Rick Mahorn back in.
Jim Lynam will use Mahorn as a better passer, more reliable scorer, better player to have on the floor against the trapping situation.
Mustafa was getting away with a lot of stuff in there, and as soon as the ball came in, Ed Middleton waited at that instant to call the foul. Watch all this prior to the foul.
Mustafa was waiting in the lane for Gilliam. That's dangerous. If you wait in the lane, the offensive player is going to certainly take up all that space. Armin went right to him, and immediately he has great position.
Do you think there's too much of that in the league, Jack? That post play with guys battling for position?
Well, I think it needs to be controlled, Jim. I don't think you can let those guys hammer away at each other and then wait until somebody is knocked to the floor before you call a foul. The players will respond to whatever the referees call. I think it should be called early. Get it cleaned up.
Illegal defense called against the Sixers.
That's the illegal defense called against the 76ers. It is their first of the game. The Knicks inbound.
It's an 8-point Sixer lead with 5:09 to go.
Andre Turner was the offender that time, playing too far off Greg Grant.
Ewing, a little one-hander. I don't see him shoot that shot quite often.
Not very often, he's right.
Not his best move, for sure. Anderson dishing off to Mahorn. No basket and a foul. Sixers lose a bucket there because the ruling was an inadvertent whistle. Now Jim Lynam nearly at midcourt. Darryl Garrison trying to get control of the situation.
I'm not sure what Jim is trying, what he's trying to get done out here. Talking directly to Darryl Garrison. Darryl's not listening to him. But Sixers have the ball, have 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Anderson breaks right by Tucker. Reverse layup, and the Sixers get it right back.
Great play. Again, Rick Mahorn.
85-75, and now a New York timeout with 4:36 to go. 76ers 85, the Knicks 75. We'll be back right after this.
We're going to see a good play by Ron Anderson, getting the ball inbounds to Rick Mahorn. Ron busts right by Trent Tucker, goes up, under, and spins it off the glass. Rick Mahorn receiving the entry pass, setting Ron up for the one-on-one drive, but Ron just flat out beat Trent Tucker to the basket.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. 4:36 left to go for the Knicks. They're down by 10. Healthy contribution by Ron Anderson again tonight. He has 20 points to lead the Sixers.
Replaces Trent Tucker. To the Sixers, Ricky Green returns for Andre Turner.
Ooh, nice position by Mustafa, and coming over the top, committing the foul, Armin Gilliam.
Very good pass by Patrick Ewing, who sensed that Mustafa was open underneath. Dropped the pass right down to him.
Joel Mustafa shooting two.
Mustafa, another one of those great players from the DeMatha High School program, just outside of Washington. about 5 miles from the campus of the University of Maryland, where he ended up attending.
Again, zone trap by the Knicks. Good ball move by the Sixers.
Here's Anderson again. He's got a little daylight and enough to get in position to draw the foul. And Ron, a usually very reliable free throw shooter down the stretch.
Excellent passing by the Sixers to get the ball into the front court, defusing the pressure that the Knicks had established on them early.
Ron Anderson has another.
Now with 21.
That's the spot where Charles Barkley usually gets the ball when he's on the floor, right where Anderson had it, and Charles would have done the same thing, driven it right to the basket like Anderson did.
Sixers by 10. Poked away, but the Knicks get it right back. And now they throw it away. The cutter was Mo Cheeks, but Armin Gilliam stepped up into that passing lane with a steal.
Again, very good defense by the Sixers. Well-coordinated defense from the double team.
Hawkins for three, and it's blocked, but taken right away by Anderson.
And he's going for it.
Boom! Three-pointer Ron Anderson, and he's hot right now. We've got a wrestling match down there with Mustafa and Mahorn. The youngster's going to have to learn in a hurry to pick his spot, and that ain't one of them. And a technical foul is called. Well, they call them on each of the players, Mustafa and Mahorn.
Well, Rick is not going to back down from a first-year player. You can count on that. Not that he backed down from anybody, but especially a first-year player.
On the floor and thrown away. Cheeks anticipating movement by Ewing, and when he didn't get it, the ball went out of bounds.
Patrick was backing his man into the lane and had no position, no footwork position to come and get that ball. Maurice let it out to him too far.
Hawkins banged hard by Ewing. Rick Mahorn got Patrick in the air and then hesitatingly threw up the jumper.
Rick Mahorn has had a maximum efficiency offensive game tonight. He's done everything perfectly well.
Sixers looking pretty good here. Cheeks with a miss. Mahorn another rebound. Shovel pass to Hawkins. He's fouled and scores, and now the Knicks are in deep trouble. Sixers leading at 94-77 on this nifty end-to-end act.
Wow, watch Mahorn fires the pass out to Ricky Green, shovels the pass to Hawkins, who takes it underneath, gets hit, and gets the field goal to go with it.
Adding one more, 16 points for Hersey Hawkins. The Sixers with their biggest lead, 95-77.
Kiki Vandeweghe just hasn't gotten his game on track.
Here's a long one by Starks that's good.
Sixers, excuse me, Jim. Sixers backing off the passer to prevent the pass into Ewing, but they're giving up some pretty good perimeter jumpers.
Three-pointer that was by Starks. Sixers trying to thread it to Gilliam. He tracks it down. The clock winding down, hurting the Knicks. 2:15 to go. Hawkins grabbed and almost body slammed there by Mustafa, who helped Hersey back up.
Shot clock was down to 2 seconds when Hersey got fouled, but it gets him to the line.
Knicks never really got it going from a lot of places tonight. For example, their starting forwards, Kenny Walker and Kiki Vandeweghe, combined with only 6 points. Ron Anderson and Armin Gilliam, the Sixers forwards, with 40 points.
That's a sizable difference, isn't it? 40-6. Kiki Vandeweghe will not have many games like this. I coached him for 2 years. I don't ever remember seeing him shoot this poorly. Kenny Walker is not a particularly good shooter, but Vandeweghe, night after night, he knocks them down with high percentage.
Even in this, his 11th season, he's getting 17 points a game. Tonight he has a deuce.
Shooting 49.8 for the season.
Nice pass to Mustaf.
Yes.
He is fouled going for the slam.
Mustaf's a pretty good player around the basket, Jim. Good move, good position.
Like many rookies, still learning the defensive aspects of this game.
That's the hardest part.
Came out of college early, and so therefore his fundamental growth as a defender stunted even more, and then he gets into the big boys league. Looks like he might have to work on his free throws also.
Yeah, he shoots it very flat, Jim. He stabs the ball at the basket. Like I was saying, that Brian Oliver has a similar technique.
Starks on the drive. And Hersey Hawkins the rebound. Sixers by 17 with 1:46 to go. And the Knicks look like they're going to let this one wind down.
See what Rick Mahorn will do this time. He almost had Hersey wide open underneath.
So this will be the first victory of the season by the Sixers over these Knicks. They have another one to go, and they lost the first 4. Here's Dave Hoppin into the game. This will also mark victory number 3 against one defeat since Charles Barkley has gone down the second time.
Big game for Rick Mahorn tonight.
Yep, and he's getting a round of applause. The Knicks with just 80 points. They're not going to win any games against anybody with this kind of low number. Vandeweghe
still can't get it.
He's going to have somebody turn the shower on for him. He can't get anything to fall, including water.
Now let's watch the next game the Knicks play, Jim, and pay particular attention to Vandeweghe's shooting percentage. He'll go for a big one next game if I know Kiki at all.
All kinds of substitutions now as Jason Williams joins Brian Oliver, Dave Hoppin, Ricky Green, and Ron Anderson. The applause for Armin Gilliam, who had another strong night. Andre Turner will give Ricky Green the rest of the night off.
No, he's coming for Ron Anderson.
Nope, sorry. Ron Anderson gets a deserved curtain call. He was the big gun offensively.
Yeah, Ron had a fine game. I like the way he defended, particularly Quinnett. He wouldn't let Quinnett get an open step.
This one's thrown up by Quinnett, but there's 1:10 to go, and the Sixers in a commanding 98-62 lead. They'll use up almost all of the 24 before attempting a shot. One would take. So much for that. They used it up, but they took 4 shots. Nice little shovel in there to Wilkins. 4 points for Eddie Lee. Here's Ricky Green, just inside the 3-point line. The Knicks continue to sag. This will be their 8th loss in their last 10 games. And their 4th in their last 5th. I like the way the referees are calling this game right now. They're not calling it. Hopping the open shooter, yeah. That'll do it. And the Sixers.
Gustav and Brian Williams really whacking at each other, Jim, at the end of the game.
Sixers post another victory, their 43rd of the season against 33 setbacks. The final score, 100-84. Sixers took the lead in the first quarter and kept it the rest of the way. We'll be back with closing comments right after this.